Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invests. Now, I've already done one video today, and that was on SciDev. And SciDev was actually the first video I did on my YouTube finance channel. My second video was on Qantas, and I don't think I'll have any need to do a follow-up or update to the Qantas story unless something significant has changed, and I don't think that's happened recently. My third and fourth videos on the channel were on Magnis, the company I'll be looking at today. The only reason I did a video on Magnis was because my nephew bought some shares in the company at 9 cents, and then the share price quickly rose to 20 cents in a very quick period of time. So today, since I did the video on SciDev, I thought, why not do an update to Magnis? And it's quite timely because the company went into a trading halt on the 4th of February, and today that trading halt was lifted. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about their quarterly activities and cash flow reports that they released on the 29th of January, and then talk about the trading halt and the reasons why they went into that. So let's get into it and look at their quarterly activities report. So here it is, and I really like to look at companies' quarterly activities reports simply because you can see what a company has been doing over the previous 3 months. So if you are interested in doing some further research into Magnis, or if you are a current shareholder, I really highly recommend reading their quarterly activities. You get a lot of information about the company in it. Now, one of the things they do have is a 10% interest in C4V, which is an intellectual property company based out of Binghamton, New York. And C4V is going to provide a lithium-ion battery for a US Department of Energy project. They also have a couple of collaborations they mentioned, and two of those collaborations are with my alma mater, University of Newcastle, and one of the other collaborations is with SUNY Binghamton. Now, funny enough, my other alma mater is SUNY Brockport, so SUNY Binghamton is sort of a cousin to my alma mater. So good signs there that they're doing projects with my alma mater and a cousin of my alma mater. They do also have a graphite mine, but no mining activities were reported for the quarter. They also mentioned something about a financing for the New York battery plant, and instantly that piqued up the thought that maybe they're going to do a capital raising soon. So there's no doubt the companies like Magnis needs to do capital raisings now and again to finance their operations and their projects. That's the whole point of equity markets, is that you can go to the market and raise capital. So after reading the quarterly activities report, I always go to the cash flow report because that's fairly important to see what's happening with the cash in the business. So typically I go to section 1, which shows you the operating cash flow of the company. Now, Magnis doesn't have any cash receipts coming into the company, so I went straight to section 4 to see what's happening with cash and to see if they actually do need a capital raising soon with the cash on hand. And I'm happy to say that they began the quarter with $6.1 million of cash and finished it with 5. So they're not burning cash that quickly. In fact, if they burn this amount of cash in the next few quarters, they still have 4 to 5 quarters of cash available to them to fund their operations. So even though they did mention something about the financing the New York battery plant, they weren't in need or desperate need for cash or capital raising to fund their operations, and that's a fairly good thing. Now, about a week after they released their quarterly activities and cash flow report, Magnis went into a trading halt. And the whole point of this trading halt was to release an announcement to the market about a proposed funding arrangements. And that instantly is a capital raising. So they have to raise, or they are wanting to raise some money. And we had to wait until Monday, the 8th of February, to get some information on that capital raising. So Magnis released the information of the capital raising just after opening of the market. So it's a $34 million placement to institutional and sophisticated investors. I'm not a sophisticated investor, so I could not partake in this capital raising. That's one little negative, maybe not little, that is one negative about this capital raising, that it's not open to the mum and dad investor. Now, they are raising issuing 121 million shares at 28 cents. So that's a little bit of a discount to the share price that was in place at the trading halt, which was about 34 cents or so. They also are attaching one free option to the share, and the strike price of that is 50 cents with a 2-year expiry. So that's actually a good thing. That means the only way those options are going to be exercised is if the share price goes to 50 cents or is above 50 cents. Now, the whole point of doing this capital raising, this placement, was to fast track production of the IM3 New York battery plant. And they also mentioned there's going to be some additional debt and equity arrangements by the end of the quarter. So it's going to be interesting to see what that debt and equity funding is going to be in regards to. So I always like to look at a chart for a company, and Magnis is no exception. So this is the 1-year daily chart for Magnis going back to February 2020, around the time of the COVID-19 financial panic. And just like every other company on the ASX, Magnis was affected, and the share price got as low as 5 cents. Started around 5 cents for a few months, then started to drift a little bit higher through the start of May into the start of July. So for 2 months, just drifting slightly higher. But then in July, it went exponential. In fact, the share price tripled in 1 month. So whenever I see the share price triple in 1 month, I always get a little bit nervous. So my nephew bought at 9 cents just before the exponential rise, and he maintained his holding through that rise and even through that very long consolidation base you saw from August all the way to January 27. So that consolidation base over that 6 months or so is very healthy. And you just don't see any significant selling, which means shareholders are standing strong with the company. And then for some reason, on January 27, the share price decided to pop up, break out of this consolidation base. No real reason behind it. There was no official announcement. And then on January 28, the share price rose 50% in 1 day. So no doubt there was some positive sentiment increase in the company, and that's why the share price rose by a significant amount in 1 day on no news. And then those prices, the management has the incentive to raise capital, especially if they're thinking they need to raise capital in the future. And the whole reason it's an incentive is this. If they raised capital, 1 week before the share price rise, they probably would have raised it at about 18 cents. But in this case, they can raise capital at a higher price, which is actually beneficial for all shareholders. So this is actually a good thing that they raise capital just after this significant share price rise. Now, always also like to look at the short-term chart. So this is the 10-day 15-minute, and we can see the breakout in the share price at the start of trading on the 27th, around 20 cents or so. And at that breakout, the share price kept on rising for 2 days. It reached a peak of about 40 cents at the start of trading on the 29th, and that's when we saw a bit of profit taking come into the market. And then it started, there's still a bit more volatility over the next few trading days, but it started to level off on the 3rd and 4th at around 33, 32 cents. And that's when the company went into a trading halt. And today, when the trading halt was lifted, the share price did open up around 36 or 37 cents and just drifted back during the trading day on not massive volume, and then finished down 1 cent for the day. That's all I've got on this Magnis update. Hope you've enjoyed it. Now, if you are a shareholder and if you're happy about this capital raising, leave a comment. If you're unhappy, also leave a comment, and simply because you can't partake in this capital raising unless you're a sophisticated investor. So if you are a sophisticated investor, I'd love it if you could leave a message or a comment. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor, so if you do need some financial advice about your circumstances, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified. That's all for this video. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.